Attached to Raid Shadow Legends, there has been a lot of speculation and a lot of information about what is coming in Raid Shadow Legends. We're looking at a free legendary champion, we're looking at an event dungeon, as well as a full-on event similar to what we had in the Asgard Divide. Today, I want to give you exactly what we know at the time of this recording and speculate on what I think is coming over the next week in Raid Shadow Legends. Okay, so what do we know for certain? We know that 5 new Mighty Warriors will be joining Raid Shadow Legends as part of this event. Now, I'm using the Asgard Divide event as a barometer in terms of the type of champions we'll be getting for free, who's the fusion going to be, and who's the event dungeon boss, thus who's going to be likely the Void Legendary attached to this entire thing as well. So 5 new Mighty Warriors will be joining as part of this event. There's an event dungeon as well, similar to the Odin dungeon, and then there's a loyalty program that is the 14-day loyalty where we can get our hands on a free legendary champion after 7 days, and that starts on January 8th. That is all locked in for certain. So the event dungeon will have 2 unique drops. Pinpoint artifact set, which is one of the best sets out there in the game. It's a 9-set variable, and just like in the Odin event, this is going to be the artifact drop. How do you guys feel about having the same artifact set? Personally, no complaints. I think that this is an insane set, and I think it's a reason to maybe hold off on your dungeon farming right now. Save up some of your energy. Don't use them in the inbox because Pinpoint is where it's at. It's going to be worth your focus inside the game on this specific event dungeon. Farm there and farm there hard. One little side note is, hey, how about a little bit of extra artifact storage? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. The technology has to be there. Now, they're also going to add 2 themed relics as part of this event, but we don't get the relic material, it sounds like, from farming the event dungeon. Rather, we get them from tournaments and events associated with the event and the event dungeon. All players can also take part in the first event dungeon tournament to get an epic relic from the milestones, okay? So it looks like this is going to be fairly accessible, the one that we see on the screen right now. And if you read it, I don't love it, not going to lie. There's also going to be a legendary rarity relic that we don't know of yet attached to this event. Wearer receives 5% less damage from enemies whose attack is lower than the wearer's. Also inflicts 5% more damage to enemies whose max HP is lower than the wearer's. Kind of an interesting and, I don't know, a little bit weird. I'd rather have it reverse. What do you guys think of this relic that seems like it's going to be a milestone and easier relic to get as part of this event? We also have a fusion as part of this event. What does the fusion do? It's going to be a legendary Knight Revenant support force affinity champion. This is one of the 5 themed champions that will be obtainable via a mixed fusion event launching on January 8th. That's when the fusion looks to start here. Top secret, but I'll share with you guys anyway. A versatile PvE support champion. I want you to pay attention to the language here. Specializing in spreading debuffs, empowering allies with healing, buff extension, and turn meter boosts. Their toolkit is designed to keep allies alive in a fight while disrupting the enemy's strategy. To me, that sounds like Mad Hatter or Cheshire Cat, right? If we look at the main characters from Alice in Wonderland, we get Alice the Hatter, Queen of Hearts, Cheshire Cat, Caterpillar, and White Rabbit. We already know the Queen of Hearts is the event dungeon boss. We know that last time the event dungeon boss was Odin. We know that Odin was a Void legendary champion who had similar skills to the actual event dungeon boss. We know the event dungeon boss, aka the Queen of Hearts abilities, so thus we have a good idea of the Queen of Hearts champion's abilities as well. More on that in a moment, but my speculation is the fusion is going to be Cheshire Cat or the Mad Hatter, thus the free login legendary is going to be Alice. What do you guys think? So why do I say we know that the event dungeon boss is going to be the Queen of Hearts? Well, look at the last teaser posted by Raid Shadow Legends. They put a little bit of the background of the event dungeon aesthetic, and they say the event dungeon's doors swing open once again with a brand new adversary for you to face. So what does she look like? Well, you saw it in the intro of this video, but it's clearly the Queen of Hearts. I actually really love this whole vibe here. I'm going to try to unmute it here. There's the heart weapon. The heart crown, was it? There's Alice. As we said, she looks kind of maybe Bannerlord-y, you know? And there she is fighting the Queen of Hearts. Pretty cool battle. I love the aesthetic here on Alice as well. So what does the dungeon boss, aka the Queen of Hearts, do? And again, this is going to be the Void Legendary Champion. I will say that keep in mind, with Odin in the event dungeon boss was a bit more powerful than Odin actually in-game. For example, he was immune to CC, obviously. He had temporal chains all maxed out on the higher levels. He also added a decreased defense on his A2 with the stun and buff removal. So there were some differences. So I would not expect the actual Queen of Hearts in-game to be quite this good, but I would expect her kit to very mirror these sorts of abilities, because everything else on Odin was very, very similar or the same. An AoE decreased defense on the A1 fills a turn meter of all allies by 5%. Super strong. A remove all buffs on the A2 from all enemies, places a death brand on the initial target for 2 turns, also places true fear on all enemies for 1 turn, fills his champion's turn meter by 5% for each buff removed by this skill. Busted. Skill 3, teams up with all allies to attack a single enemy. A great ally attack before attacking, places an increased attack on all allies for 2 turns, decreases the cooldown of this champion skill by 2. Skills 2 by 2 turns if the target is killed. Okay, maybe a typo there. So I think this is going to be the second ally attack champion added to the game after Lady Mikage, with an increased attack on all allies with the ally attack. If so, that would be busted. I love how the passive is actually kind of an homage to Odin's passive. It's something powerful that happens every X amount of turns in the battle. Grants this champion an extra turn for every 10 buffs placed on the enemy team. If there are multiple champions on the team with this skill, only one will activate. So what does Death Brand do? Champions under Death Brand debuff will receive the block revive debuff when killed. So Death Brand is a block revive debuff, so if they're killed with it, they can't come back. So I'll leave you guys with my predictions to put everything together on these champions. Odin is going to be the Queen of Hearts, a Void Legendary. She's going to be the event dungeon boss. She's going to be available through shard events. Summon pool 10x summon. Again, to be clear, this is my speculation based on all the information that I've outlined so far in the video. Loki is going to be Alex, a free non-Void Legendary. Through the 14-day or 7-day loyalty, you'll get her. 14 days, you'll get a soul, or perfect soul, or split soul for her. Thor is going to be the fusion unrelated to the free login or the event dungeon. We know it's not Alice, or we think it's not Alice. Not 100% on that, but it sounded, because of the skill sets, it sounded like more of a kind of a crafty, clever, annoying champion who's manipulating everything. That's not Alice. That's Cheshire Cat or Mad Hatter. Probably Mad Hatter. Freya, Deck of Fate champion, is going to be maybe the White Rabbit, maybe the Caterpillar, or maybe Cheshire Cat or Mad Hatter, the one that's not going to be the fusion. That's going to be available through the Deck of Fate. Summon pool, 15x progressive and 10x summon. Again, I'm just mapping the data from the Asgard Divide champions, how they were available onto these champions. And then there's going to be a 5th legendary champion attached to this event. In the Asgard, there was only 4 legendaries, so it's really unknown. I would suspect it would be, one of these main characters, but TBD on that. Guys, that's all I have for you. What do you think of this entire event? I'm excited for it. I see mixed reviews on the Alice in Wonderland being added to Raid in the comments. Some people are not having it. Personally, I am really excited for it. I can't lie. Let me know how you feel in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.